episode. Gas Network presents sports for the culture.
I'm here with the family.
Price, XXV, Double I,
Rome,
D-Malo,
Gruff Lion.
T-Boogie, man.
Just the greatest sports show on the planet. La Familia. Hope y'all ready for a ride.
Can't wait to hear what you guys got to say.
What up, everybody tuning in from wherever you're tuning in from. It's Gas Presents Sports for the Culture, man. Coming in for you after the Super Bowl, man. It was a good Super Bowl. Good Super Bowl. We're going to dive into all the angles, man. A lot of angles. And then we're going to put football to bed, kind of, for a couple weeks. Not really, because of the draft and stuff. But kind of. Let's go ahead and introduce the fellas, man. Well, let's start with the one and only, man. Top right, T-Boogie. Go ahead and introduce yourself, brother.
T-Boogie, man. Y'all know what it is. Wash your hands, wash your ass. Hey, man, 49ers fan. It took us a long time to finally take that exit. But, hey, no, nothing to put your head down about. Shout out to my man Scruffy, pulled up on me for brought some good drinks, good food. So shout out to Scruff for that. Hey. But I'm ready to have this show, man. I got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, man. I'm just trying to decide on when I'm gonna pull my graphic out. I think I'm gonna wait though. Go ahead, introduce yourself there on the bottom.
Yeah, man, you know who it is, man. Young Rome 22, man. I had about 50% of the Super Bowl predicted correctly. Said way back in August the 49ers would be there. I thought the Ravens would be there, but who was I to bet against Pat Mahomes and the history that he's making in real time, man? So yeah, we got a lot to get into. Let's get into it.
Yeah, man. Let's get right into it, man. I mean, let's just to ease into this conversation, man. We had the Super Bowl. Obviously, it was a little bit of a slow start to the Super Bowl. I think we can all agree with that. Some fumbles, a couple plays that were kind of just like, hey, what the hell? And then, things started to pick up. 49ers did have control of the game for the large portion of the regulation. Ultimately led to overtime, and we know what happened in overtime. Purdy got the ball first. 49ers and Purdy got the ball first. Field goal, touchdown for the Chiefs. So let's get into it, man. What's your first thoughts, reactions, just immediate after this Super Bowl reactions? I'll start with Rome this time. We're gonna wait for actually no. We need to hear from you.
Hey, man, y'all know, man, I try not to bet against Tom Brady ever. And Pat Mahomes in that conversation, I don't bet against Pat either. But I did this week, and against my better judgment, and of course I lost. But that's a bad man, bro. You know what I'm saying? The words of Steven, that's a bad man. Like, we knew. I think everybody knew. I think everybody that's watched Pat Mahomes play knew if he had to have one drive, he would get it done. I think the 49ers knew, the 49ers fans, the 49ers coaches. That field goal instead of 7, I think most people already knew, man. If you could place a live bet, go ahead. I think Scruff started to place live bets.
I did.
Scruff knew. I didn't want to tap into that negative energy. But in the back of my mind, I was like, he on to something. But yeah, man, great Super Bowl, great halftime. I'm glad it was exciting because it did start slow. It really did start defensively, and I know most fans don't want to see a defensive battle. But the better team won. The team that had the fewest won the game. I can't take nothing away from Kansas City. So better luck next year, Niners.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty accurate for a recap there. Ron, man, what were your thoughts watching the game, seeing how everything played out?
Yeah, man, it was definitely one of the best Super Bowls I think I've seen in my lifetime. I think it'd be up there with just about any of them. It was a slow start. It was a defensive battle. I know I'm in the minority in that, but I love a good defensive battle, especially in the beginning of the game. I think it really forced the offensive coaches to get in their bag in the second half, which is what led to it being such an entertaining game. And like T said, man, if it was coming down to the last drive, pretty much every football fan in America knew that Pat Mahomes was going to get it done. I mean, we've seen it before. The Chiefs are starting to get a lot of that hate that Tom Brady and the Patriots would get. They've entered the dynasty stage now. People are sick of seeing them on the screen. People don't want to see, like, my son personally wanted the 49ers to win just because he's sick of seeing Taylor Swift on his TV screen. So I know it's becoming the easy thing to hate on. They're the most popular. They're the prom king every year. But the Chiefs, it's their world, and we're just living in it at this point.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I said before the game, or during the game, I said multiple times that if you leave the game to Patrick Mahomes with the drive, to win the game, like, you already know what's about to happen, bro. Like, you already know what's about to happen. It's like you're like trying to avoid that from happening. It's like everyone's so scared of it happening that's what ends up fucking happening. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, damn. But it did. I agree with some sentiments that y'all had. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes, bro, didn't play that incredible in my opinion, but he did just enough to get the job done, and that's kind of been the theme of the season for them. They did just enough to get the job done. I think that's a credit to the Chiefs defense. People ain't talking enough about the Chiefs defense. They played an elite game. I think the Chiefs defense had a lot to do with it. But ultimately, you know what I'm saying? I think when it came down to it, you look at these two teams. I think the difference was the quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? That was really the difference because, like, both defenses played pretty well. Both running games had moments. There was mistakes made. You know what I'm saying? Kelce was kind of, he had his thing, but, like, ultimately, when it came down to the final drive of the game, Purdy couldn't. They only got that field goal, bro, and that's really what hurt them. And then also, like, how you the coach and you don't know the overtime rules? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many things like that's wrong with that. Like, and with all due respect, I saw a stat out there for Kyle Shanahan. There's only been 2 Super Bowls that have gone to overtime, and he lost them both.
Yep. He's 0-3 in the Super Bowl now.
He lost them both. I bet you his dumb ass gonna learn the rules next time because you the only one that don't know the rules, bro. You've only been in 2 Super Bowls. You got to know. I guess the other coaches were fortunate that there wasn't a Super Bowl. I mean, it wasn't an OT in the Super Bowl because, like, bro, that's
Well, let's be clear, and let's be all the way clear about the OT rules in the Super Bowl. Number one, this is the first time that the new rules have been implemented, right, in the Super Bowl for the overtime, right? But let's also keep in mind that these rules only got put into place because of Patrick Mahomes. Like, this is the Patrick Mahomes rule, because when he beat Josh Allen's sorry ass the first time, and they said, "Oh, well, the overtime rules aren't fair because everybody doesn't get a chance to score." Okay, well, now everybody gets a chance to score. Did that stop Pat? It didn't. Did it help Josh Allen? It didn't. So here we are. Once again, it's the Chiefs' world, and we're all just living in it. Scruff, you said it right. People aren't giving the Chiefs defense enough love. It's crazy to me that Steve Spagnuolo isn't getting more head coaching looks. How come he's not going to interviews? The defense that they put on, not only just throughout the season, but in the playoffs especially, and on that final drive against the 49ers should be the stuff of legends. I mean, let's be honest. Purdy had an open receiver on that last play, but that blitz was called at the perfect time. And that was really what saved the game at the end of the day. I mean, of course, Pat did his thing, but Steve Spagnuolo and that Chiefs defense deserves a ton more credit than they're getting today.
Yeah, I agree with that. T.
Can't disagree with that, man. The defense gave Pat a chance because Purdy was rolling in that overtime drive, especially after they got that holding call to move the chains. I just knew we were getting in the end zone. They definitely doubted a blitz on 3rd and 4. They had been blitzing all game, getting a free runner. This time the free runner was a defensive tackle. I don't know how that happens, but blown assignment. But that was the game. Ayuk, man, failed. L'Jarius Sneed failed. Ayuk was standing in the end zone wide open. Purdy hits that 10 out of 10. You can get a little league quarterback to make that throw. It's probably about 10 yards, 12 yards. Got to give it up to Spags.
But that's why you blitz like that, because you're hoping for in that moment. It's been a long game. You're in the 5th quarter at this point. People are tired, worn down. You're hoping for a blown assignment, and that's what they got.
Yeah, you want to force them to make a play. The 49ers did not do that to Patrick Mahomes. They sat back and let him
Yeah.
dump. A lot of soft coverage. If you play Madden, I know you were going crazy because you would never call any of those soft coverages. But I thought the better coaching staff won. I thought Andy has been through what Cal's going through with Philly, right? Keep getting there, losing, right? Keep getting that conference game, Super Bowl, losing. So Andy, and then Andy figured it out, 15 years later? I'm hoping Cal doesn't have to figure it out 15 years later with a different franchise. But Andy, certainly, I thought the coaches for the Chiefs were just a little bit better. Some of the bounces. I mean, a freak punt return off the heel. We see that, but how often do we see that, right? But that's what the Super Bowl is about, man. These surprises. So, again, go out there and beat the champs. You know what I'm saying? Go out there and beat them. You can't fight them to a tie. You can't play Mahomes to a tie. Like Rome said, they changed the rules to stop this, man. And it didn't stop him. Stuff a legend, like you said, man. Hats off to Pat. My son's a huge Chiefs fan. He talked crazy all night. He was a little stressed some of the game, but in the end, he got to see his team win another chip. So this bodes well for the teenagers when the Chiefs fall off. So let them get it out right now.
Yeah, speaking of looking stressed, man, I got some personal footage of your boy T out there. He was stressed, man. He was stressed. It's that right after the end of the game, featuring Lakeith Stanfield. You know what I'm saying, here on the side here, making a cameo appearance. But yeah, he was stressed, bro. But this is how he was really feeling, bro. That's how he was really feeling, bro. I see them holding it together, but this is how he was feeling in his heart, bro. That's how he was feeling in his heart, man. That's how he was feeling.
OT's a tough one, right? Because you had a chance. You had multiple chances. You had multiple drives, multiple plays. If you go in there and you just get manhandled and you get blown out, it's like, all right, we never had a shot. But when you're up again against the Chiefs, again, don't make the plays you need to make. I know a lot of 49ers fans were really sick. I wasn't surprised, man. Like I said, if Mahomes get the ball last, it's a wrap. But
I mean, I don't want to say that this would have made a complete difference in the game, but I do think it's worth noting that the Dre Greenlaw injury, once my man went down, Travis Kelce started cooking. Travis Kelce was not cooking before Greenlaw went down. I believe he had like one catch, 1 yard. Once Greenlaw went out, you started to see Travis Kelce's involvement more. And I mean, who's to say that they wouldn't have, found a way to get him involved regardless? But I do think that Greenlaw injury was very significant. And that sucks for my man to go out like that in the Super Bowl of all games.
Well, it was at 9 targets, 9 completions. So there's that.
Well, that's Big Dom's revenge. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't have been messing with Big Dom in the first place. That's why I was messing with Big Dom. Crazy. That karma gonna come fulleth, bro. You feel me?
Philly voodoo.
Full circle. But another thing that you mentioned, Travis Kelce, you know what I'm saying? We had some good conversation in the group chat about that. I think things kind of changed up after Travis Kelce started screaming at Andy Reid and stuff. You know what I'm saying? He started going psycho on him. And you know what I'm saying, it was going crazy on him. And it got my attention, bro, because I know a lot. I was everybody in the room that we were in. He was like, oh, he bugging. He bugging out. Why he bugging like that? You feel me? But it just got me thinking, bro, like, what do y'all think about that whole situation? What the hell? The ghost and the merge. Perfect timing, Mr. Company Man.
Oh, whoa.
Perfect timing.
What's up, fellas?
Perfect timing. We was just getting into the conversation about Patrick. We finished up talking about the instant reactions for the Super Bowl. We was talking about Travis Kelce yelling at Andy Reid, and we were just discussing what our thoughts were about that. If we feel like that was a little too much. Rome, I'm gonna start with you, man, because I feel like if that was a brother, like, he wouldn't have been able to do that. If that was Antonio Brown, AJ Brown, you name it, you know what I'm saying?
So it's interesting because there's this reporter, Jared Bell, this African American reporter who actually just came out with an article that says similar things. Some of the guys you just named, Scrub. He literally said, if this would have been T.O., A.B., A.J. Brown, somebody like that, would the reactions have been similar? Would we have just, given this pass to all these other players the same way that they gave a pass to Travis Kelce for the most part? And if I'm being all the way honest, bro, in my heart of hearts, I would say no. But you got to keep the context involved with these kind of things, right? I feel like part of the reason it's not as big of a deal about what Travis Kelce did is because at the end of the day they won the game, and it wasn't just the game; it was the Super Bowl. So if you told me they lose this game, if they would have lost the Super Bowl in OT of all things, I think that would have gotten a much bigger spotlight. I think people would have given Travis Kelce a lot of shit, and I think the whole Taylor Swift thing, all of that would have been looked at in a whole different light had two things not happened. One, they had lost the game, or two, he had not caught Andy Reid because he almost knocked dude over. I didn't even notice it the first time. I don't know if y'all saw that, but when I watched the replay today, because I knew we talked about it on the show, he literally almost knocked Andy to the ground. So he was definitely over the top. Like, and I get it. Football is an intense sport. You get crazy. People definitely get crazy, but you got to be able to control your emotions. You cannot be knocking your overweight head coach almost to the ground. Like, he literally had to catch dude and keep him up. So
Yo,
he was
Andy looks shook, bro. Let's keep in mind, bro. Like, let's put it all in perspective. I know he a coach and everything, but that man in like his 70s and shit. Like,
yeah.
let's take it easy,
Yeah,
bro.
Travis Kelce was definitely out of line. I think if they would have lost that game, or if he would have knocked Andy all the way down, he would have got crap either way. But I don't think they would have let like a T.O. or Antonio Brown live that down regardless. So
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the difference that the way it's portrayed, in my opinion. I'm gonna just speak on it real quick because, like, y'all was good coming at my man AJ Brown this season. You know what I'm saying, for getting in the quarterback. You know what I'm saying, and that's the quarterback. It ain't the coach. That's even more disrespectful to do it to the coach. But y'all, oh, he was being a diva. He was doing this and the third. He ruining the team chemistry. You know what I'm saying? All types of stuff like that. I ain't hear nothing like that about Travis Kelce. T man, I want to hear your thoughts on this.
Yeah, man. Andy Reid is what 65. I
65, man.
I'm not sure what arena uh, a young athlete, well, not a young athlete, but anybody in their 30s and push someone in their 60s. Not an issue. You know what I mean? Like maybe WCW or something. I don't know, but like if you remove all the context, this is a football player who works out and goes to the weight room, pushing a 65-year-old senior. If he actually knocks him down, breaks his wrist, and he falls, breaks his hip, like it's a total different story. I mean, it's a bad precedent, especially in that Super Bowl spot, especially with kids watching. My personal opinion is they should suspend them for a game or two next year, just so players know, like, this is a line, this is a boundary, you can't do it. Because what's to stop the next player from getting upset and punching their coach or pushing their coach to the ground or just pushing their coach again? Like, what's to stop it from happening?
They ain't gonna do that, T, and that's the problem, bro. If it was Antonio Brown or AJ Brown, they may have did that, but they're not gonna do that, bro. Because when with all due respect, when a player like Travis Kelce or Tom Brady, who sometimes did some shit like this every once in a while, throwing stuff around, acting all crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's considered, oh, he's so passionate, you know what I'm saying? I actually just saw a commercial earlier where Travis Kelce was, Mahomes was talking about sidekicks on Subway, and he flipped the damn John. And I'm like, look at this man, look, he got an anger problem. That's the way that that's the way that they would do it. If it was the other way around. Gee, man, what's your thoughts on this situation? Is it just being overblown?
To the max. Because if you're going to talk about those other two players, none of those guys. Talk about Antonio Brown, a guy with history of just doing whatever, just bugging out since he went to the Raiders and then on. So he comes with a hell of problems. And then A.J. Brown, I don't expect A.J. Brown to react like that to a coach that, first of all, didn't draft him and hasn't played long enough to do that with. Like, I don't see where you guys are like, well, it's because what are you trying to insinuate? This is a player that played for Andy Reid, got drafted either the year before Andy Reid got there or has been since Andy Reid has been there with that organization. So for him to do that, this guy is a champion. He's a Super Bowl winner. It's not like he went out of pocket and cursed him out. He just said, "I need to be in the fucking game." If I'm not mistaken, around the words he was saying, he was alluding to. So it's not like he came out of the pocket. It is different if this guy has just got into the organization and did this with year one. We're talking about this is a guy who lived his whole career with this guy, and all of a sudden we're gonna try to make it into a race thing because what? Because Travis Kelce is white. Even after that, Andy Reid and them, they didn't look like it bothered him. So why all of a sudden you guys are because first of all, Antonio Brown bugged off. So now so give me another player that he would have gotten into trouble would have did it. Because those two, first of all, none of them stayed with one organization long enough to do that to a head coach. So give me somebody better. Because right now this is alluding just because it's straight race when it wasn't. This is straight somebody, like when you look at the game, the guy was passionate. He seen a fumble happen when it should have been his play to score the TD.
Okay, and then when To gets upset because they call a goal line pass or a goal line play and they run it and the guy fumbles and he gets pissed off and yells at Andy Reid because it was his touchdown. Is that your same reaction?
Same situation because it's the same coach.
Very diva-like players. Look what he did.
Travis Kelce isn't a diva-like player.
No, he's not.
Travis Kelce is not a diva-like player. Are you serious right now? How many commercials is he in? He's celebrating all the time. But yeah, but much like Travis Kelce, he exited the conversation at the appropriate time. But look, Travis Kelce is not some squeaky clean player. He's gotten into it with Andy Reid before, I believe. I'm pretty sure they've had to do like a team suspension before in the past. In college, he got suspended for smoking weed. Nothing crazy, but let's not act like Travis Kelce is like a choir boy. You know what I mean? Like he's gotten in trouble in the past, and for them to brush this over the way that they're brushing it over is because they just won the Super Bowl. That is the only reason that this is going to get swept under the rug. Otherwise, I think it would be addressed.
I think it sets a terrible precedent, especially with this new group of athletes coming in that grew up entirely on the internet. A lot of them are really emotional. The George Pickens types, like not just divas. Like these guys just come in like that now. And if you can let that go, if you can let that slide, what can't you like? Where's the line for what you can't do to a coach?
What I would like to see personally is Travis Kelce to come out and speak on it, and at the very least, I mean, maybe if not a full blown apology, at least some type of acknowledgement of like you said, Andy Reid is twice this man's senior. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure in a different setting, Travis Kelce wouldn't even want to, cause harm to the guy that drafted him and brought him into the league, right? Like I'm sure they're real cool and real tight. I'm sure that was the emotion and the passion overflowing, but like you said, it sets a terrible precedent because at the pro level, especially, you're supposed to be able to show that you can harness that energy and not let it overflow, that you're in control of what you're doing, regardless of all that passion and all that. So I don't know if they should suspend him or nothing like that. I think they can handle it internally, but I would like to see Travis Kelce address it on his own too, not on some like he gets asked a question in the media. Like he's got his own podcast with Jason Kelce, his brother. I'd like to see him, address the situation there.
If you don't make a suspension, that okays it for every other athlete, right? So if McLaurin pushes Dan Quinn next year or Kingsbury, like no harm, no foul, huh?
Hey, bro, we have players punching players in the face. Ain't nobody gets suspended. So,
players punching players is the
handle it internally is what I say.
like I said, man, Andy Reid 65. Like, could Gronk have pushed Bill Belichick? Hold on. How about this? Could Aaron Hernandez have pushed Bill Belichick?
Yes. Hey, on a serious note, with Andy Reid and them, I got a question for y'all, man. Like, because I was saying earlier, the Chiefs are essentially a dynasty now, man. So how do you go about, if you're a team in the AFC and the NFL really at all, how do you go about hoping to win another Super Bowl? If you're especially in the AFC, right? Do you even get to another Super Bowl? Are we waiting for Andy to retire? Is that the, what I'm saying, nearest thing to break up this dynasty? Because Pat's only 28 and he's already got his third chip. So he's probably going to play for another 10, 15 at least. So what breaks up this Chiefs dynasty in y'all's mind, if anything?
You
I
got to go
think
to the NFC. That's it.
no, I actually think the road gets so much tougher now. Right? He's got 3. I think for him to get 4 or even 5, it's going to take another 10 years. Personally, I think he only gets 2 over the next 8 to 10, if that, because the young quarterbacks are getting so much better. The young teams are getting so much better. The young coordinators are getting so much better. But also, this was the Chiefs, arguably their worst year. They had to win against Purdy, who people have been calling high mid, in overtime. It's not like they went out there and destroyed the 49ers, right? Like, for it to be a dynasty, it's not like they went up there and beat them by 40. If some random events, if some things didn't shake their way, they lose that game. So I see Lamar getting better. I see Josh Allen getting better. Patrick Mahomes is going to make so much money. Travis Kelce, what happens when Kelce leaves? How do you replace Kelce? You can't just draft a guy and replace him. He's generational, right? When you lean on Pacheco, maybe draft a receiver, maybe sign a guy, but
I mean,
The
to be
wheels gonna
honest,
fall off by then, bro.
the Chiefs are just a couple. If they could hit on some draft picks, they don't need too much. And Pat really proved that this season. I mean, to your point, T, this was their quote unquote worst year, and they won the Super Bowl. So I mean,
they're
if this was their worst year, that would lead me to believe that they're only going to get better. So I mean,
That
if that's
defense
the
is
case,
all draft picks too, bro. So they've been hitting, bro, on the draft
yeah,
pick.
if they hit on a couple of receivers, then offensively they're money too. I agree with you though, Scruff. Pacheco's wheels will eventually fall off. But it just seems to me that
They can get another one.
for the next 5, 10 years, we're just going to be playing the game of who can the Chiefs get? Couple draft picks, bring in a free free agent. You know what I'm saying? Like we'll see what happens over time.
it's
Yeah,
gonna be tough, man. Josh, Burrow, CJ, Lamar, like everyone's
it
favorite
is.
quarterbacks are in the AFC.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
bro, of some of those QBs you just named, who do you think has the best chance of even beating Pat Mahomes?
I mean, it's Lamar. Is the right answer off the bat because
Lamar,
they were within striking distance. They should have won that game.
yeah,
I agree.
Lamar.
You can say the same about the Bills. Really, they were right there within striking distance too.
Those, those
Yeah, they
two
were.
and those 2 guys need Super Bowls to define their legacies. Unless Mahomes is really Jordan and he stops guys from eating. But I think the NFL is a lot tougher than the NBA. There's no load management. There's no 7-game series. You know, Mahomes go out there play great, and the other players fumble the game away. I think it's gonna be really tough, but catching Brady is the goal now, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he got 3 already, so he needs 7, but he's still pretty young, so he's got a long way to go. A long way to go.
I mean, realistically, right? If he's going to catch Brady every year, why not just load up your money and bet on the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl?
I mean, I
I
think
mean,
if you look at their playoff their stats from 30 to 30, like when Brady was at 30 and before, because Pat's only 28, Pat's already got the same amount of Super Bowl chips, way more yards, way more touchdowns.
Different
I
era.
mean, Pat's on a path to be much better than Brady.
That's different era of football.
It's a different era, but I mean they got the same amount of chips. So
Right.
if you want to gauge it by chips, then Pat is projected to be right there.
Yeah, but he is. But it was just Brady and Manning, and I don't know who else was in the AFC at that time. Cutler, like
Rivers,
Rivers. Okay, Rivers. I think
Big
Mahomes,
Ben.
Big
Big
Ben.
Ben, I mean they had QBs.
I don't know. I just feel like it's a little bit more tough sledding. Maybe I'm misremembering the past, but I feel like Mahomes has a little bit more tough
But
sledding. And
but again, doesn't that add to the greatness of Mahomes? It's like you said, like he's gonna turn a lot of great QBs, a lot of people's favorite QBs, into Charles Barkley.
Possibly. How long does
Yeah.
Andy keep coaching?
And that was what I was originally getting at. I think that
Couple
is
more
gonna
years,
be
maybe. Who knows?
That'll be the true test that will define Patrick Mahomes' greatness. When Andy Reid retires, how does Patrick Mahomes react? How does he keep the Chiefs together? Do they continue to be this dominant winning team? I think that's going to be the greatest thing, even more so than whenever Travis Kelce either retires or starts to decline. I think that'll be the true time that we see what Pat is really made of.
Yeah. No, it's interesting though. It's funny because good comment here. Talking about Tom being a high level manager. Pat was kind of like obviously just coming in going crazy when they had Tyreek Hill, but he's had to learn to make those check
Check.
down throws and taking what the defense give him. And it's really just made him like super versatile. Like you really can't stop him. And then he's willing to make the run when he have to. Um, I saw there were a high level manager in here, so it got me thinking about your boy Brock Purdy. So how do we feel about Brock Purdy after this game? Some people at some point had him in the MVP conversation. Other people said that he was a game manager. Many people said that he just has a great supporting cast. So did he do enough to shake the label of game manager? T, I'm gonna start with you on this one.
I mean, it's not a cop out, but I'm not sure, man. It matters much whether you label a quarterback a game manager or a playmaker or whatever. Like the labels don't matter. But if you did want to remove that label of game manager from Purdy, uh, he made a few plays. What we do know with Purdy though is for a game manager, you want him to have the ball in the last drive the same way you want Pat to have the ball. Like even in Purdy's losses, the drive the field, they miss a field goal. You know what I'm saying? Come from behind two times in the playoffs. We go to overtime, we get the ball, we drive down the field. I mean, he started the game with a drive. Overtime, drive down the field. Should have been a touchdown, broke down protection. So whether you label him a manager or not, at year 2, what you're seeing out of him, you don't see out of second-year quarterbacks. Steve Spagnuolo said he was killing their zone so much that they had to change the entire defense. They had to run stuff that they hadn't even practiced because he was dicing them up so badly. I think when the other team coach gives you that type of credit, I understand what fans are going to say and what fans thinks quarterbacking looks like, but I think Purdy's pretty good quarterback, man, for year 2. I don't think we've had a year 2 quarterback play at that level, to be honest with you. Maybe Mahomes, but outside of that, there hasn't been any year 2 quarterbacks that I've seen that put the team on their back like that.
Okay, make some points. Ron, what's your thoughts on this? Did Purdy do enough to shake the label of being a game manager?
Hell no. Not even close. If anything, he confirmed that he is indeed a game manager. What I will say though that I wasn't saying before about Brock Purdy is that he's elite. He is indeed an elite game manager. He's the kind of game manager to where when you need the big third and long throw, he can make it. If you got a guy that can create separation and get open, he will hit that throw for you. If it's 3rd and 7 and they're playing man cover 0 and the heavens open, he can get you 9, 10, 11, 12 yards real quick. He can keep the drive alive. T's right. He is the kind of quarterback you want with the ball in his hands at the end of the game because he's going to make the right decisions at the right times. But if you're telling me that he's a game changer, I would tell you to just go rewatch the overtime portion of the Super Bowl. Brock Purdy did indeed not change the game. He went down there, he did what he needed to do, got his team in position to score a field goal, got his team in position to win the game, did not win the game. Patrick Mahomes got the ball, took his team down there, that didn't just get them in position, but he won the game with his arm, with his legs, with all of it. So at the end of
No,
the day, that's the difference between a game changer and a game manager. Like it,
drive. All Mahomes did was dump the ball off, dump the ball off, dump the. There were no amazing throws. In fact, if you watch that entire game, Purdy had the more elite throws. We saw Mahomes make one elite throw the entire game.
Is that how we're judging game changers and managers though? Because I can point to probably all 32 quarterbacks in the NFL and be like, hey man, right here on this play, this is an elite throw. This is a throw that the average human isn't gonna make. I concede that T Purdy made better throws throughout the entire course of the game. That does not mean that he changed the game. He managed his way through the game and made those elite throws at the right time, which is why he's a manager of the game. But that wasn't enough. He didn't do enough to change the game or change the outcome the way that Patrick Mahomes did.
Well, I will say both teams have good quarterbacks, good systems. I thought Mahomes' system was ran a little bit better, right? Our game plan was Debo. The game plan was clearly Debo. 11 targets, 3 catches. Debo was strapped up. I don't know what a quarterback can do when the game plan is decided. We're getting this guy the ball, and this guy can't get open. I'm not sure what a quarterback can do in year 2, but
the problem is, T, and in my very humble opinion, is the 49ers faithful. You guys put all this pressure on your team and your quarterback talking about he's an elite game changer. Cam Newton doesn't know what he's talking about. All these talking heads are crazy. Brock's the guy. So what does Kyle Shanahan do? Comes out with a lead in the second half of the Super Bowl. First 9 plays, 8 passes. Like why are you kidding me? Christian McCaffrey's already accounting for like 2/3 of your yards, bro. Like keep running the rock. If you want to throw it to him. like getting away from Christian McCaffrey in the second half was the craziest part. And it wasn't until they started mixing him back into the game that they even started to keep the score competitive.
Well, I thought Shanahan ahead of himself with the throw. Same thing he did in Atlanta. I don't care who the running back is. I don't care if you need the ball. You need to hand the running back the ball to keep the defense honest, to keep the linebackers coming up so Purdy can throw the ball behind them. So I did think that was coaching.
He started calling it like he was Aaron Rodgers or, what I'm saying, Pat Mahomes in a year where he has better receivers. But like those are game-changing quarterbacks, and you can say, hey, we're just gonna drop back and let you rock. Like Purdy's not that kind of guy. And not yet. Maybe he develops into that over time. Like you said, this is just his second year, right? This is just his second year. So maybe over the course of 3-4 years, he can be the guy that drops back 8 out of 9 times and you're successful. But I just don't see that out of Brock Purdy this year at all.
So what does it mean when the coach says we couldn't stop him? We had to run plays that we never even practiced before. What does that mean for a quarterback? Did he change the game? Because he certainly changed the game. Hold up.
Okay.
Changed the game plan. What does that mean when a quarterback dices up the blitz, dices up the zone, and the team has to run plays they've never practiced? What does that mean?
Bro, before we came on the air, right? When I first got into the little group, right? You and Scruff were talking about a very specific player, one of my all-time favorite players, and I'm going to quote him right now. Y'all were talking about my man Allen Iverson, AI. And what you're talking about right now, T, your man Brock Purdy changed practice. We're talking about practice.
No.
He diced them up. He diced Steve Spagnuolo up in practice. And Steve said, you know what? Maybe I should erase this game plan and switch it up. Like that. Who show me the defensive coordinator who at halftime was like, well, damn, Brock Purdy, he's cooking me. I got to change it now in a game, not practice, the game.
But I mean, I'm wrong. It was the game, but I hear what you're trying to say, though. I think he's trying to say is that like coaches make adjustments, and that's what happened. Is the Chiefs made an adjustment to what that's really when the game really starts, in my opinion, is when the first adjustments is made. All right, you gonna come out and do what you had scripted. I'm gonna come out and do what I got scripted. All right, you tearing this up. All right, we're making some adjustments, and that's when the game starts. You know what I'm saying?
I said I really thought Andy and Spags outcoached Wilkes and Kyle, which honestly should happen. Honestly, they're better. They're more tenured coaches. Steve Wilkes, I don't think should be a starting defensive coordinator, but I mean not a starting, but like a defensive coordinator. But they got out coached, they got out executed. The Chiefs had less turnover plays. Like they beat us on a play that they've ran all season. That They run it so much that colleges run it. They run it so much that high schools run it. They run it so much that they run it in little league. The little return motion. I think that's coaching, bro. When you lose to a play that the entire world has seen, I don't know if you guys follow any X and O accounts on the internet, but
That was the play they hit on the Eagles last year.
how many times have we seen that play?
No, yeah, that play blew. You're 100% right. After last year against the Eagles, that play blew up. Everybody and their mama thought they was gonna, you know what I'm saying, throw that in their playbook.
I mean, he said I would kill Lamar for 53%. I wouldn't kill Lamar for 53%, but what I will kill Lamar for is just like Purdy, just like most quarterbacks, if you can't run the ball and play balance, you're serving yourself up for the other defensive coordinator. If all you're going to do is pass, and we know it's pass, we drop back and play coverage. I don't care if you have mega. That's just football 101, bro. Like, I think fans give players too much credit. I think fans think one guy can go out there. He's not a goalie. Mahomes is not a goalie. Mahomes is not a pitcher. Like, one guy can go out there and change the game, yes, but they were losing that game. If this was previous overtime rules, Chiefs lose. So, I mean, to say Mahomes did this, did that, this, he got to drive when he needed it, and that's what Mahomes is good for, being clutch, right? I can't take that away from him. But don't sit here and act like he lit the 49ers up for 4 quarters or Brock lit the Chiefs up for 4 quarters. It's a game of inches. One team made a few more plays, and that was the reality of it. It was 3-point drive, 3 and out on that last drive. Well, not 3 and out, but 3rd and 4 they didn't convert. Mahomes let the clock run down, which was crazy. That's how much confidence the coach had in that play call working. They let the clock run out to not give Brock the ball back. So y'all can talk whatever y'all want, but, you know, it came down to the last second. So for Brock Purdy to be a game manager, hey, you took what they're calling the GOAT now. You took the GOAT to the 12th round in the last seconds. You can't be mad at that.
All right, final question now, man. We will move on. I mean, I disagree with you, T, but I think we both did. But it's fine. You know, you made your point.
How far did Jalen Hurts take him?
He had one of the best performances in Super Bowl history.
I would say Jalen Hurts falls under the game manager category as well, to be honest.
How's he a game?
Why? That's not like a diss or a negative connotation. Both these quarterbacks just went to the Super Bowl back-to-back years. Like, I would love for Washington to grab himself a game manager. Like, get you a high-level game manager, somebody that really knows what they're doing and can control your offense, make the right plays at the right time, which includes being able to make elite throws at the right time. That's Brock Purdy and Jalen Hurts.
Bro,
I disagree.
You want some crazy risk taker like Josh Allen, so you can get to the, you know what I'm saying, 4th quarter and he can bombs away and throw a pick. Like,
hey, Tom Brady said something, who I think most would agree is the GOAT, about that discussion. He says, while you guys see electrifying and running out of the pocket and making plays, he sees a guy that couldn't operate within the offense, a guy that didn't know where to go with the ball, a guy that had to make a play because he couldn't make the right play. And if that's who am I to go against Tom Brady? But
I mean, y'all both would say Tom's the GOAT. Tom was a game manager, bro. If the greatest quarterback of all time is a game manager, I don't see how that it always gets attacked with a negative connotation. I was an Alex Smith fan. He was dinking dunking it left and right. I don't think being a game manager is a bad thing. I think really it means your QB his best talent is up here. That's what that means to me.
To me, you got to be both. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to be a game changer and a game manager,
bro.
And that's what Patrick does.
First of all, Patrick Mahomes was a game manager the entire season this year. He had about 4 games only where he threw for 300 yards. So it's not like he lit it up. He didn't throw for 5,000 yards. This year, everybody made him check down. He was a game manager this season. I don't know how y'all want to chalk it up. That's why
I would agree with that.
I don't know why these terms even matter, because these are fan terms. The players don't walk around saying, yeah, the first string quarterback's a game changer. The second one's a game manager. The players, like, bro, they want the guy that can get them the ball in space or get them the ball when they feel like they have an advantage, right? One-on-one, I think I got my man beat, give me the ball. Nobody cares about the running around. If running around was so crazy, and people love Lamar as a game changer so much. Why aren't wide receivers lining up to go to Baltimore? So these are fan topics and fan debates because none of those guys out there, Zay Flowers included, did any of them make the Pro Bowl?
I don't know if Zay did. I think Zay might have. I would have to double check.
So he was a rookie. I don't know if he made the Pro Bowl. He certainly didn't make All Pro. So for all this game manager, all the game managers lost and didn't make it to the Super Bowl. all the game changers.
Game changers, yeah. That goes back to my point, man. You really want somebody who is gonna make the right play at the right time and not just be like, "Oh, I'm gonna just put the team on my shoulder and the chips fall where they fall." Like only but a handful of guys can truly do that.
They said a manager with limitations. Every quarterback has limitations. Every single quarterback has things they can prove, they can work on, things they're not good at. Mahomes probably being the one that has the least amount of stuff to work on, his mechanics, his footwork. Mahomes misses passes. I think when you're not a fan of teams, you don't get to watch. Like, Mahomes misses passes every week. Purdy misses passes at a low rate. Hurts misses passes. Like, that's quarterback. And nobody's going to come out there and pitch a perfect game.
Yeah, nobody's throwing 100% in the game. That doesn't.
You know, if Mahomes is such a game changer, could he go out there and win without Andy Reid?
Hey, I made that point earlier. Whenever Andy leaves, that's when we'll really see the true greatness there.
We saw a game manager do it. We saw Brady do it without his coach. We saw Manning do it in different stops.
Sure did.
Well, that's where he. That's not where he elevated, but that was game changer as more than game manager. He was a game changer on the Bucks for sure. But yeah, you got to be a little bit of both, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to get you one that can do both, man. And Brock Purdy don't know how to do the game changer part. So, that puts him at high level mid.
He definitely ran out the pocket, made a crazy throw to, I think, Juice Check or something. I can't remember, but
yeah, I remember that play.
That was a nice catch too. Juszczyk is very underrated.
He is. Also, we had this discussion with Bryce in the group chat. At least I did, which is if Brock Purdy is such a game manager and not a game changer, why are teams using a man spy? Because Lamar gets a man spy, Josh Allen gets a man spy, Aaron Rodgers does not get a man spy, Jared Goff does not get a man spy. So, but Brock Purdy gets a man spy. So for a player that is not a game changer, why are we making sure he can't make plays with his feet? I don't know. Maybe I'm talking crazy.
You'd have to ask Steve Spagnuolo, man. And who am I to go against a great defensive coach?
Because he would tell you.
Maybe he's seeing something we didn't see. But like I said, like Brock is known for getting a quick, nice little 10 to 12 off of it, man. So I can't be mad at it. It's a smart play. But you know what? Here's my actual counter to that. You know what, T? Now that I'm really thinking about it, every QB that you're going to see in the league moving forward, because I honestly just was looking at a lot of the QBs coming into this draft, damn near everybody's going to require a spy at some point in the future. The way that all these QBs are coming into the league, I can't think of one that probably couldn't rip off a 7 to 15-yard gain right quick if it's there for the taking. You know what I'm saying? So we're getting to the point where the QBs are so athletic that putting a spy on might be mandatory on third down.
It's important though. It's legit important because, like, at the end of the day, when the shit gets real tight, bro, like, you feel me? The quarterback, you know what I'm saying, looking around, all the options, the defenses, you know what I'm saying? This is the peak of the peak, bro. Coverage versus, trying to get open. Cats ain't getting open. That's the difference in the game a lot of times, bro. And that's why Pat does it in those moments. And he never really been that kind of guy, but like he been doing it too. Like, and that's why those moments matter a lot. And that's kind of why Jalen Hurts had a run last year, because like when the pocket break down and play doesn't happen, he could go ahead and go get you 15, 20, 30, or whatever the case may be on a 15-yard scramble. And you got to be able to do that because that breaks your defense. Like, because like you can have everybody covered and then your quarterback could just jet off on you and your good defense goes to waste. You know what I'm saying? So like having a spy just is like, having a savings account. Like, it just protects you from, like, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying, some bullshit happening. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for real. It's
I
just,
mean,
you
yeah,
know.
push your
But
gear
hey,
unless
that was an excellent point though, T. Because like you had me thinking when you said that in the group chat, and I was just like, man, why would they? You know what I'm saying? Dedicate a whole QB spot to Purdy. But yeah, man, the more I think about that shit, bro, the more I'm just like, man, like all these quarterbacks can move now, bro.
Yeah. It's
yeah,
true,
I mean,
though.
the quarterbacks like Tom Brady are dying. Like guys have to come in, go to the weight room now. They got to run the 4.5s, the 4.6s, maybe 4.4s. Like the days of people being unathletic in any sport are over because the science is just too crazy. Jokic might be the last mid athlete. You know what I'm saying? like everybody else from now is Wembanyama's and KD's and Luka's and LeBron's, like, or the twins. You know, guys run, jump, bench press, lift, and from 6, 7, 8 now.
Oh man, bro, I just seen some crazy. The youth sports scene is always crazy, man. Every time I get into it, bro, I'm like, are these fifth graders or college students, bro?
So, I mean, you got to treat an athlete like an athlete, and what that means has changed. So,
Yeah,
but
man. All
nobody
right.
nobody's
But,
trading 30. I'll say that people are trading to be the next Mahomes.
hey, man, you know what I'm saying? This is unrelated, but they're saying that Brock Purdy was that dude in that Cam Newton commercial. That's why Cam Newton don't like him. I'm just warming up my arm.
Hey,
Oh,
that's
head
an all-time great commercial right there.
Oh man. All right. Speaking of all-time greats, man. Last topic, culture topic of the night. We had one of the all-time greats, man, in my opinion, perform at the Super Bowl. Usher, aka Mr. Steal Your Girl. You feel me? He was out there, great performance. You feel me? I think a lot of people enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? What are y'all thoughts on the halftime show? Where do y'all rank it amongst the recent halftime shows? And how would you feel if Alicia Keys was your wife? Bro, I'll start with you.
Man, I thought Usher's performance was up there, bro. I don't want to call it one of the great. I don't want to call it the greatest of all time, but it's definitely one of the greatest of all time. I can't think of a more smooth performance, a performance with like there were no real holes. There was nothing negative that I could really say about it. So while I don't want to say it was the absolute, what I'm saying, jaw dropping, most crazy spectacle I've ever seen for a halftime show, it was probably the most flawless and well executed halftime show that I've seen in quite some time. And
Okay.
I couldn't be Swiss Beats right now. I couldn't be Swiss Beats. The memes alone, man, I'd have to deactivate.
See, the funny thing about that is, you know, he really can't say shit because he'll steal your girl too. You
Yeah,
feel me? Or matter of fact, I think he got stole.
yeah, his whole situation.
I think I might have been mistaken the situation. I don't even know. I think she was the stealer, as a matter of fact. So you know what I'm saying. You gotta be careful. Be careful out here. You know what I'm saying. With them work wives and work husbands and shit. You know what I'm saying. That's T man. What's your thoughts on the halftime show and the Alicia Keys and all this stuff going on with Usher and all that? You know what I'm saying. He got another one. I'm saying he strikes again.
I thought, man, I don't know if it was the most iconic, but it was definitely one of the most entertaining. You know, it's got to be top 2, top 3 most entertaining halftime shows. Period. The I guess the only negative would be if you did have a favorite song, he played a little snippet of it versus giving you the entire song. That might be the only
Yeah.
discredit.
That's accurate. That's some of the feedback I got from my sister, a big Usher fan, and she was like, "Oh, it's just a tease." You know what I'm saying? He just wants us to buy his concert tickets. And I ain't gonna lie, he been building up. This is a hell of a tour that's coming up, and
Yeah.
he building up the buzz, bro. He did give a little snippet of everything, but it was enough to give you the taste. You know, it's a
Right.
charcuterie board of Usher that was served at the halftime show, like for real. And so many elements of the performance were, to me, top notch. One was, he brought the way he implemented these different people was excellent. One and two, Alicia Keys looked great. Three, her came out there just styling on them with the you know what I mean, with the guitar. You know what I'm saying? That was, to me, that was my favorite part of the whole show. Was her. And then how about the dudes skating and stuff, and then singing? You singing and skating? I could barely skate. You know what I'm saying? Now you singing and skating? Like, and you ain't fall, ain't nobody fall. Not one person fell. Not singing and skating. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? ATL roll bounce, they would have been proud. That
Yeah.
was a tough. That was very impressive, bro. Next level shit,
He definitely
actually.
sprung Atlanta. What do you say? I turned the world to Atlanta or something.
World to Atlanta, yeah. Now
And
that
for,
was easily, like I said, man, that was probably top five, top three performances of all the halftime shows. And man, like Usher, like I was talking to my son about the performance and stuff because he's only 9, he don't know Usher like we know Usher, and it just got me thinking, man, like Usher is one of the fucking greatest musicians ever, bro. Like, I don't think I know not one person who don't rock with some type of Usher song, right? Like everybody probably could have and should have and probably did enjoy that performance in some aspect. Um, even when he threw, like you said, Scruff, the way that he implemented people was flawless. The way that they threw Lil Jon in there with the turn down for what, like, you know what I'm saying? Everything was very recognizable. I feel like this was a crazy, great, enjoyable performance for the entire world. And you said Usher's got a tour. I know he just dropped his album, man. Like this is big for Usher. This is a good look for Usher. I think it's gonna make him an even bigger artist. So
Yeah,
I love to
he
see it.
got they got a tour coming up. I heard the seats is about 1,200 at Cap One. That's what I heard.
yeah,
About
that's
1,200 for Cap One. That's
too
Super Bowl money, dog.
rich. I'm like,
That's crazy.
Oh man.
$1,200 for Usher to call your girl on stage.
I know Kiki Palmer, baby daddy over there, like, I told you he ain't no good.
nah, and that's the situation. You gotta let your girl rock, man. Like it's the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? As long as they ain't pull it out like Janet, it's all good.
Man, if I could be honest though, I that was probably one of my favorite Alicia Keys performances. Period, bro. Like shout out to her too, because like I think she killed her part. The scene with the red cape, her on the piano, man. Like Alicia don't always get her flowers, man, and I think that was a very big spot for her too. So shout out to Alicia Keys.
Yeah, Alicia Keys, a good looking woman. Um, she kind of messed up on a note or two at the beginning, but she settled in
Bro.
together.
She was probably nervous, man. That's a big stage.
Yeah. So I mean, overall, it was good. I mean, I feel like they kicked Cap out the league so Jay-Z could do halftime shows. So I mean, we got to enjoy him because we lost one fight. This is all we could get is some entertainment. So
Hey, Jay,
Sandal
Jay
fight.
hasn't really missed on these halftime shows yet, though.
Nah, of course not. Of
well,
course
I
not.
wasn't a huge fan of the Dr. Dre joint.
I thought that joint was tough.
I'm not a genuine guy in general, so
Well, in hindsight, that's probably not the best one of all these Jones, man. But these last 2 years been crazy. I'll tell you that much.
yeah,
Yeah.
Rihanna was
I'm just waiting for them to throw Beyonce on that joint. Then that shit gonna really go crazy, bruh. What?
yeah.
That's what he building up to.
That's exactly what I ain't
Yeah.
mad.
He built but the Beyonce joint drop, because it's like, all right, we can't just say, all right, yeah, I'm in charge of the halftime show, and then be like, all right, first performance Beyonce.
Probably got to wait till the Giants win or
Hey,
something.
that's why she dropped that country song. You see, Beyonce trying to check all the boxes, bruh.
Yeah,
She gonna be like, look, my music for everybody.
I
Yeah,
think
watch. Nah, dead ass though. Her catalog crazy. Because you figure by the time she do get to do the Super Bowl, she gonna have a hit the country jump. She gonna hit you with the with the last joint. What was the last album? It was like you know. I forget what they call it.
Yeah. Now, if she does do it though, bruh, when she bring out Destiny Child, bruh, I'm gonna be going crazy in the living room, bruh. I'm gonna be
Yeah,
hyped, bruh.
yeah.
That
I guess they could.
nostalgia, man.
They could bring her out, bring them out.
Oh, they would have to, bro. For at least a little. Give me some Destiny Child snippets, something.
Yeah, Kelly Rowland aged great too. I ain't gonna hold you. There's some women out here aging very wonderfully, man. Shout out to whatever they got going on for real. That's a blessing. Yeah, sure. How about Janelle Monáe at the halftime show? Would love to see that. Oh nah, man. Some good stuff, man. Good stuff though. I think we had a good halftime show. We'll see what they were gonna do with next year. Because like I think they keep raising the bar, in my opinion. So we'll see, man. Get your Usher tickets and stuff like that. And don't end up like all these suckers out here, you know what I'm saying? Be secure in your shit. Any closing thoughts on the Super Bowl halftime show and everything all the above?
Nah.
Nah, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm good, man. I'm excited to start talking some NBA in the future, and then we'll circle back to the NFL for the draft, man.
Yeah, man. It's been a good season, man. Great season. Shout out to me for winning the pick'em. T Boogie came in second. What I'm saying? I'm just trying to say, I told y'all I was gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it again next year. Man, fuck you talking about. But you know how we close every show, man.